Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities. For them, for our local businesses,
got the new merch.
Oh my goodness.
for the community. Because when local businesses thrive, the community also thrives. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities for our local businesses, for the entire community. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do?
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities. For them, for our local businesses,
Got the new merch.
Oh my goodness.
for the community. Because when local businesses thrive, the community also thrives. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities for our local businesses, for the entire community. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do?
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
All right, the final countdown indeed. Welcome aboard here to TSC Live.
What would you like the
And
power to do?
while we don't
Your
wish
passion
it to be
for
the
this
last
game
time that
opens
we
opportunities.
count it down here
For them,
for the summer season here at
for our local
Gene,
businesses,
of course, Gene Cox Stadium. Alas, if you believe the projections, it just might be the last time that we're here until 2027. So we'll try to make the most of it here for the season
would you like the power to
finale
do?
for your Tallahassee Soccer Club, your Battle
What would you like the power to
Lions.
do?
Welcome aboard.
Your passion for this game opens opportunities for our local businesses, for the entire community. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do?
Bienvenidos. Welcome, Guten Tag. Come on down. The water is nice here. Of course, your Tallahassee Battle Lions trying to lock up a playoff spot here tonight. That's essentially what's on the line. The old adage, you got to love this time of year, win and get in. So if Tallahassee is able to secure the full 3 points, they will guarantee themselves a spot in the postseason. If they fail to get the full 3, things will get very complicated, and they'll need some help from the rest of the league. But before we get going, we're going to step aside here for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watch, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the brave and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Drew Carlisle.
All right, and job well done there, national anthem. Andrew Ju, Ben Groves bringing you the action here for TSC Live. And Ben, it sounded like a birthday serenade as the old red, white, and blue turning 250 here in just a little over a week, Ben. But good game here tonight. What you looking forward to?
Well, 4th of July coming up, known for fireworks, and going by the away result that Tallahassee got, should see some fireworks tonight for the Battle Lions. 5-0 they won last time. Hopefully we see something similar or perhaps even better.
There you go. Absolutely. So we'll see what we have on the slate here today. Like we said, win and get in is the ticket that we have going on here for tonight. Of course, LAX in their first season here in the league, just getting that foundational element. So they're going to be on the outside looking in here for the playoff picture. But, of course, they're part of a growing league. And I remember the growing pains that we had early stages when we bumped up a league here, Ben, for Tallahassee Soccer Club. So we feel the pain, and we'll hope that they'll be around here for some fantastic lower league soccer in the Panhandle for some time to come.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a difficult season for them, but everyone's got to start somewhere, and I'm sure as the club builds, we'll see some exciting contests between these two sides in the future.
Absolutely.
And tonight.
Yes, sir. So there's a starting lineup. You can see Tallahassee to your left and LAXFC, to your right. So it looks like Xander's going to start out in goal. Zuri, Casper, who's back with the squad. Jeremy, Joe, MT, Bennett, Joao, KT, or Audie are going to be the starters here. So Comodine, Sanchez, Garza, Alameda, Volstein, Warren, Balog, Amechi, Mitchell, Cuppa, going to be your starters here for the Tallahassee Soccer Club. So a lot of familiar faces, but Audie Garza is going to be a player to watch. Number 18 getting the note. Also, you got to like number 23, Casper Volstein, remembering him here from the last time out from last year, Ben. He just got back with the team here at the end of June, and he's geared up and ready to rock and roll. He is a dangerous, lengthy, gazelle-type, direct, forward attacking player, and he's a menace in the box. So he's going to be a player to watch on set pieces for Tallahassee. He's going to be one of the focal points, number 23 here. He did some damage when they were out on the road on Pensacola, part of that 2-2 draw, of course, to tie up both matches here between Tallahassee and their A50 Cup rival, Pensacola. So he's going to be enjoyable to watch. Also, watch out for Bebito in the starting lineup here. João Felipe Almeida has been rolling here lately, finding his form, had a class act of a goal out there in Pensacola. So he's going to be a player to watch there in the midfield, very creative. And look for the fox in the box, number 14, Joe Warren. He's been on a goal-scoring streak here towards the middle end part of the season. But we're off and away here from Gene Cox Stadium to get things rolling here between the current top of the table and current bottom of the table here in the East. That, of course, is on a raw points. If you want a more realistic standpoint, of course, we are a points per match favorite league. So we're actually technically probably second, Ben, when you look at it on a points per match, just behind Pensacola. Of course, Tallahassee going to start things off here as we get it rolling. In the first minute of play, it's going to get back to Cuppa. He'll circle back around and cycle it on down here back to Amechi. So Zuri's going to be heading up that back line with Cuppa and Kamaldeen. Solid back line here. You're going to have Bennett Mitchell over here on the near side. Of course, my captain's captain getting the ball here back to Amechi. Like we said, Balog in goal. He's going to be in those beautiful Regal Redford keeper kits. They're pink today. Pink and purple are your two colors for them. Centering through, looking for Sanchez. Dangerous goal scorer, aggressive, gutsy player. Also with a nice touch on the free kick. This one's going to be fed outside here for the visitors at LAX FC. Centering ball's going to go back post. This is dangerous. Had a shot at it. Did the visitors. Was going to sprinkle out for a throw-in over on the far side. What'd you think of that early action, Ben?
Yeah, tough giveaway there. Not something you want to see super early, but good job by Tallahassee to recover there.
So be out and off and away, and we're going to be getting the updated roster here. We got it last second before we got kicked off for LAXFC. So we shall see if we can get those kind of sprinkled in as we'll go through. So we'll try our best for our visitors who are tuning in here today. Sprinkled out to the near side, and here's a little jump from the visitors in the all-white kits here tonight. It's going to be Volstein in defense, and a good takeaway, and he'll be off and running. And there's the old big German gazelle getting on the front foot. He's got Almeida here to help, dropped on back to Chiaffini. On the outside, that's going to be Garza. Inward play here to Mitchell. A nice 1-2 with the youngster from the West Coast. He's going to look for a centering ball, but he'll drop it off to Volstein. Looking for some centering action. Looking for Warren. There's the fox in the box on the back post, and he rips it just over the bar and off the football uprights. We are, of course, playing soccer for those tuning in on the football field, so we will be playing with the normal goals, but just over the line. But how about the rip by Joe Warren, Ben?
Yeah, really good stuff. Good cross there, too. Way to bring it down just a little too high there.
To be out for a visiting goal kick. Mitchell will win. Back to Ward, who looked to possess. Turns it back with the right foot around midfield. Back to Amechi. One of the longest tenured battle lions here is Zuri. On back to Balog, who's been a great reinforcement to the keeper union here the last 3+ years for TSC. Kamaldeen, one of the newer players here for Tallahassee by way of South Africa, and we'll definitely try to give some countries of origin here as we have the World Cup rolling with us here this week. Here's Volstein. Nice little slide out here from the visitors, and he's able to avoid tackles. You can see the adventure that Volstein brings and the energy, Ben. He's really fun. He's been a great addition here for TSC the last couple of years.
Yeah, he has, and already getting in on the action tonight. No goals through the first couple of minutes, but heavily involved so far.
You're starting to sound like the U.S. men's national team, Ben. When you don't get a goal in the first 4 minutes, you start looking around and wondering what the problem is. As this one slides back through the box, a little too long for Sanchez. The visitors will get it going. Good pursuit there by Diego. He's going to make the keeper take it all the way back. And Tallahassee, a team that typically likes to rock the high press, is going to make you pay if you try to play out of the back end. You're not sharp. Be a foul hold up and go back forward here for LAX FC. Battle of the Lions out here today, Ben. You ever seen two lions fight?
Only on YouTube.
Yeah. Definitely.
Or Animal Planet.
I was going to say, definitely not something I'm trying to be part of. That's for sure. This one spilled out, and the ref is going to hold us up right there at the Gabi Cougar logo. One of the 5 public schools here that we have in Leon County. They're, of course, one of the co-hosts, as it were, Ben, here for this season's action. Now year 6 here at the Gene. Nice through ball is going to get to Diego. Offside flag stays down. He's looking for some help. Turns back to Warren. Has it 20 yards from goal. Down the sideline. Now flips back to it. Has Volstein. Needs some help. Chips it into the box. Diego in the area, but it's going to skip into the visiting keeper. And he'll scoop it up off the turf. Played out of the back. Long ball going centering. Camaldine, nice win. Secondary win here by Garza. Chiafini in the mix, and it looks like Luciano got a fresh cut. Ben, what you think?
Looking good. It'll reduce some of that arrow drag, help him go even faster around the defenders.
Yeah, help get that extra propulsion going. Through ball from Garza, flip through from Sanchez, trying to cut back against the grain. And it's going to be spilled out there. And that was Garza on the pursuit. That was Babito on the through ball there, number 9, Joao. Giaffini from 20 out, skips it to the keeper. Volstein gets the rebound and dunks it home. Offside flag, looks like we're staying down. And Casper picking up where he left off. And so it looks like this one's good to go in the back of the net. So that means as we start things off, 7th minute of action, it's a TSC goal! And your Battle Lions up early, Ben, just like you wanted.
Yeah, just a mistake there from the keeper. Tallahassee was there to capitalize. Good stuff early on from the Battle Lions.
Able to dunk that one in. And Volstein, minute number 7, puts your boys, Tallahassee Soccer Club, up 1-0 here early on. Center back through as the Battle Lions once again in control. Slides it just past the defense to Warren. Skip it back to Amechi. All the way back to Balog. Swung around, and MT's going to give it a ride. Looking for Sanchez, a little direct play. So TSC loves that direct over the top. Typically, you'll see it more so on the wings, but of course, depending on the opponent's defensive scheme, we'll see them flip. So we see some slippage from the visitors. For those of you not familiar with the Gene, this is an artificial surface, and we did have a sprinkling of rain earlier today. So it is slippery. So when it rains heavily, the field is actually very well suited to handle serious moisture. But when we get a light dusting of rain, so to speak, like we had today, it will sit on top of the surface, and it will be a little bit of a slip and slide, as you see here. So you can plan, at least for the first half, for the conditions to be a little poorer than usual if it was a clear sunny day. But we've been getting kind of dunked on here the last, week and a half, Ben, with some severe weather.
Yeah, I've been looking out the window of my office, and it has been quite the sight to see for lightning strikes.
Absolutely. One by Amechi, back from Chiafini. Camaldine wants to go up over the top. Sanchez, nice header down here to Almeida, on over to Volstein. And he's looking to go. He's got 3 options. Looking for the captain, Mitchell, but it's going to land back to Casper. Falls for Warren. A little bit of a miscommunication up top. And a little slip through there. Gets back to the defense. be sprinkled out, and nice turn and burn there from the visitors. Able to get that one out in a position, and some little bit of skill over here on the near sideline. Don't have number 22 in our roster book of the roster we've been provided, but if you know number 22 here from the visitors, feel free to let us know. We'll go ahead and throw this up for any roster numbers. Feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, if you've got a full roster with some good information on there, don't hesitate to reach out and throw it over to tallysetalk@gmail.com. Right there. If you have any corrections or notes for us, feel free to take that down. tallysetalk@gmail.com. All right, back to Bad Log. Cycle it around a cuppa. And, of course, part of the International Flares. We had our host families honored here today. Of course, Tallahassee, your beautiful nonprofit soccer organization. We don't have that big money founder or president. This is all community funded. Sponsorships, donations, and ticket sales, which we have a pretty good amount of people here today, help support this club. You know, we don't have one of those rich millionaire types, Ben. So as part of bringing some talent here, usually we've got about 6 or 7 guys that we bring in from out of town to add to our local team. They are hosted by some soccer fans in the community and friends of the program that they're allowed to stay with them for the summer. So we're just honoring them and give them a shout out. So always appreciate our volunteers associated with the organization, as this is a community club. Can't do without them. Well, I guess we could, but it'd be a lot more difficult, a lot more expensive, and that's all what Tallahassee's about. Community-driven, community-funded, by the city, for the city. Ben, flipped on out. Here's Comodine looking for some service. Through ball to Sanchez, and it's cleared out here by the defense. Tracking back here is Zuri, and it'll be skipped out of play. Be a Tallahassee throw-in. Here's Mitchell, get us going. Nice through ball here. Danger's on, and Volstein tried to chase it down, but it's going to be scooped up here by the visiting keeper. Good takeaway here by Babito into Volstein. Right-footed strike, and that one's in the back of the net. Once again, offside flag staying down. Double the delight for the German. Minute 7, minute 14, and that's another one to add to the strike. It's a TSC goal! 2-0 here early for the boys in gold.
Scored by number 23, Casper Wolstein.
What'd you see, Ben?
Yeah, just, playing the ball over the top. Good run there, again, by Volstein, just capitalizing on the mistakes, taking advantage. And, yeah, Battle Lions have a good 2-0 lead.
A little bit of direct play and a little bit of class, putting it in the back of the net. Here's Almeida with a nice sliding tackle. It's chunky, but he did get all ball there as Cuppa turns this one out of initial danger. Hounded by the defense, and he'll eventually dump it out to Amechi. We do have a stoppage here for the visitor down about 30, 40 yards from goal. Sounds like some pain going on here. I don't know if you can hear the screams, Ben, but I'm picking up some here from the field microphone that we have pumping through here.
Yeah, I'm out here, and he does not sound or look good.
Yeah.
He's holding his right ankle.
Cannot see the number as the back is on the turf here. Does not look like a fortuitous situation. Luckily, if need be, we have our medical experts here from Tallahassee Orthopedic Clinic. Been a day one partner with the squad, so they are ready to go when called upon. This is one of those moments to check out the visiting players. Always important to have that medical team on staff, Ben, even if you don't want to
Absolutely.
100% use them, of course. Good to have by. Good to have by. So, Ben, we talked about it. How do you feel with Tallahassee in a win-and-in situation? How do you feel about Tallahassee's positioning here as we get towards the playoffs, as we try to have a little interlude here for the injury stoppage as a player gets helped off?
Yeah, you're up 2-0 early in a game, you really need to get a result from. So 2-0, we're in the 16th minute. Hard for things to be going much better for the Battle Lions in terms of going for the playoff push.
Absolutely. So a couple out-of-town games to keep an eye on here. We're going to be scoreboard watching for Union 10, for Pensacola. GAFA will get into the mix, which we'll get into when we have a little bit more time to explore that conversation. Hopefully at halftime, Ben, we'll be able to check out the table. Of course, we had some delays here at the stadium and some issues we had to take care of, so we don't have our usual pregame show, as you may have been accustomed to. But we'll get to some of that information that we have going on. But a lot of the usual suspects going here down the stretch. The big four, same from last year, kind of leading the charge. But we still kind of have some outsiders, Ben, which has added a layer of intrigue here in 2026. We have PSC, PCBFC, the team out in Panama City, making things interesting over here in the East. And then AFC Mobile, they have not been mathematically eliminated yet. If they can get a couple big results down the stretch, they could actually surpass GAFA and sneak in. AFC riding the line right now. The other teams, Valdosta, LAX, NOLA, and the Pensacola Academy have been mathematically eliminated, so it's a three-horse race for two positions on both sides of the conference at this point in time. Playoffs to take place Wednesday, July 8th, and that weekend we'll have the championship, where the highest seed will host on a points-per-match basis. Back at it here in Tallahassee, 30 yards from goal. Volstein's feeling hat trick, skips it into the near post and dangerously close to doing some damage, as Volstein is feeling like a dangerous man out here today, Ben.
Yeah, it really is, and why not? Why not take that shot? You're on a hat trick before the first water break, so yeah, take your shot.
Indeed. Go on now. This one's going to be centered off here. 19th minute of action. Threaded through here. Couple layers of the defense. Chiafini with a little Karate Kid move there. Sweep of the leg. He's won some energy as we kind of gotten into a little lull, and I think the Mount St. Mary's man, he wants a little more excitement, a little more energy, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely. Not satisfied with a 2-goal lead. Want to get as many as you can and put on a show for the home crowd before the season ends.
Absolutely. And Volstein's looking like a German Messi right now. Of course, the Argentinian Chiafini says, come on, 2 goals isn't enough. Let's go get 3. We can get a hat trick and go 3-0. Centering ball here from the visitors. Kuppa's going to scoop this one out. Recollected. Kamaldeen able to spill that one out. So the South African gives it to the Portsmouth prodigy here from England, and it'll be cycled around the far side. Centering ball and turned out here by the visitors. Sanchez putting on some pressure, the former Thomas University man. As this one's tried to leaf through traffic. Good stop by Bennett Mitchell. Captain, longtime Battle Lion. Him and Zuri, I believe, both with 4+ years of service here for your Tallahassee Soccer Club. Threatening ball here from the visitors. It pokes through, and a little bit of a miscommunication. Balog and Amechi both going after that one, and it'll be out for a visitors throw-in. Throw in on the far side. Hounded by Chiafini. Dangerous positioning here for the visitors, trying to thread through, and that's Isaac, number 3, getting into the box. But your Battle Lions are up to it. Threaded out here to the perimeter. A little bit of an opportunity to run for Garza, and the youngster with a full head of steam will send it back to Warren, looking for some service. To Babito here on the turf. Amechi to Bennett, centering ball to Sanchez. Nice little piece of class to avoid the defense. Back to Almeida. Chiafini. Centering ball is going to be picked off by LAX. It's going to be threaded through. Good win by Chiafini back. And Mitchell's going to put this one 4 rows deep into the stands. Quick one here as the assistant coach is trying to get the ball back. It's kind of like the World Cup, Ben. You got to give the ball back here.
Yeah, we're not doing any more of that time wasting, or at least trying not to in modern soccer.
True. Also, I don't think the league fees are high enough where we can just afford to buy some new sanctioned balls here. Long ball over on the far side, looking for Garza. Keeper's out of the box, but staying in. We're using the black lines, of course, is the soccer field, and so that one's going to be out for a LAX throw. Throw in, threaded through. Chiafini, nice rip here. 30 yards from goal, dumps it back to Warren. Almeida from 25 tries to go over the top, but the keeper with a nice leap and pushover just to keep an eye on it, make sure it's safe. And they say, I guess he didn't touch it. So it'll be a goal kick here for LAX. And just for the chat, I don't know what LAX stands for, but it has nothing to do with the airport. They are based out of Callaway, Florida, which is in the Panama City area. So while they are a little distance away, this is a regular league game. It's right under 2 hours. Went out there a couple weeks ago for that June 10th game. Nice little Wednesday night affair. This one we got at least on the weekend here in the capital city. Nice little work around Bennett. And Almeida doing some good work here. Of course, the Brazilian has been a fun addition to Tallahassee this season, showing some class and skill. And if you haven't seen his goal against Pensacola, you got to go check it out. It was a volley out of the sky, absolutely scorched the net. I'm surprised he didn't put a hole in that thing. It was arguably, and in my opinion, Ben, the goal of the year for Tallahassee. That first one against Pensacola on the road. This one cycles through back to Sanchez. Volstein, 30 yards from his goal, is going to take it all the way back to midfield. And Amechi back by his lonesome. Plays it on the ground. Had to come back and get it to Chiafini. Threads it through. There's Joe Warren, the fox in the box, trying to find the Brazilian up top, but unsuccessful. Looks like offside flag is up. I think Warren had the hand in the cookie jar, Ben.
Yeah, just strayed a little bit too far. Referee put the flag up instantly, so I don't think there was any doubt on that one.
Indeed. I guess we won't have to go to VAR for that one, as they'll have the kick going out. 22 yards from goal here for the visitors. And it looks like the player from LAX is still getting some medical attention down here underneath the tent. So it looks like his day is done, as they look like they have subbed them out, because you do have 11 players. I must have missed a substitution, Ben.
Yeah, it was number 14 that came in for LAX.
So hoping for the best there. That's going to be Mendoza, number 14, for LAX, as Balog scoops this one up.
Just barely kept himself in the box. Had to pull kind of a smooth criminal move to stay in.
Oh, Shimon. Yeah. I like that reference, Ben. Ben's in his bag. He's been watching a lot of that World Cup, some of those MJ commercials. Cycled back around MHE to Bennett. Last touch by the visitors. And be off and out of play here for a Tallahassee throw. Looks like we have an early substitution coming on here for Tallahassee, as Puccinelli is getting ready to get warmed up.
That brings us to our first water break.
It's going to take us to the water break or the hydration break. Of course, unlike the World Cup, for those of you who have been watching or getting into it, it is not mandatory here in the league play, but it is at the referee's discretion at any point between 20 and 30 minutes in each half that they do have the discretion to hold things up and allow the players to get a water break. So, of course, for player safety, also we're playing the state of Florida. It is hot and humid. It is very gross, so 100% necessary here in the Sunshine State that we need to be having water breaks. It's not that hot tonight, but we've had Tallahassee games in the past where the field temperature is triple digits, and we did have a heat advisory, severe heat warning earlier today. Luckily, the rain kind of put the kibosh on that. So 100% in support of that, and have a couple minutes break as well. If you're in the stadium, feel free to check out. Go get some Tallahassee Soccer Club merch. We got the merch table out here today. Of course, we got the trading cards. This is the last time you can get them. They're only available in person, so cannot get those online. And then, of course, we got a couple food trucks out here today. We've got the Empanada Smiles, a nice empanada combo. And then, of course, we have the Sugar Fix. We had the Aloha Ice, longtime proud food truck sponsor. Ben, I saw you dipping into the Empanada Smiles last time we were out here. What'd you think?
100% recommend. Even come to the game just for the empanadas. I mean, they're that good.
And you kind of fall into a little semi-pro soccer here. Is that what you're telling me, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, you can come for the soccer, you can come for the food, or you can come to, enjoy listening to our commentary while sitting in the stadium. However you come to the game, spend some money, support the local soccer club, the local food trucks, and just have a nice summer Friday afternoon here in Tallahassee.
Indeed. Absolutely. Indeed, man. That's what it's all about. And around the cycle goes. Community funded, community supported, community partnered, community participation, for the people, for the fans, all that good stuff. A real wholesome operation we got going on here, Ben.
Absolutely.
As we get ready to get resumed here, back to Balong and cycles us on around. Strong left foot. Going to go down the far sideline. Looking to pick out Garza. Freshman from the West Coast. Going to go up over the top here for Sanchez. About 40 yards from goal. Secondary ball falls to Joao. Looking to thread it through, but it's met well here by the visiting defense. All the way back to Balog by way of Amechi as we keep things rolling. Centering back around. Back to Cuppa. Threading it through here. Looking for Babito. And able to get on it. Looking to distribute now. Back against the grain. 45 yards from goal. Centered to Sanchez. Picked up here by the defense. Tried to weave through traffic. That's Hillan, number 21. Looking for some service over on the far side. And here's a spurt. And that's been... when LAX have had the opportunity, Ben, it's been on the far side. It's been the long ball looking for number 9, Pashley. Couple instances where they've been looking for him. And if TSC's going to get broken into, that seems to be the route that LAX is going to try to do it. So we have Mitchell down in the middle of the field. Looks like he's holding his leg for a cramp. Or no, it's Chiafini. So Pusinelli, number 11, has come in here for Mitchell, and he's given Chiafini the armband, and a crampage here for Chiafini. And he looks very rigid as he walks off, so he's going to go ahead and hand the armband off to Zuri. And Big Z will take over the captainship. And it looks like we'll have a substitution here for Chiafini. And it looks like we're going to have a full slate here today, but you don't like to see the guys getting injured and coming up and having to sub off. Tallahassee has had 2 first-half subs, and now LAX FC has had a first-half sub. At least 2 of those have been injury-related, Ben, which gives you a little pause for both teams.
Yeah, it really does. Hope both players can recover quickly. Don't ever want to see anyone injured. Want everyone playing as much soccer as possible.
Indeed. Most indeededly. So off in the resumed action, and Sanchez takes a tumble of the turf. A little turf burn there, Ben.
Yeah, and a yellow card for the defender to go with it.
So that's put in, I believe it's our ghost. Oh, no, not the ghost defender. It looks like number 4, which we have a couple number 4s, but I believe it is Blake here on the depth chart. Jaheim Blake, if I'm not mistaken, looking at the roster correctly. So it'd be a free kick for Tallahassee, 31 yards from goal. Width-wise, it's almost as wide as the 6-yard box because you can see the hash marks from the football field. But usually when Sanchez gets over the ball, Ben, he's going to goal. So if I was a betting man, I would think probably near post or here, and it goes right at the keeper. It's a rocket that he safely punches over. Dealt with well. That was a difficult ball, and Sanchez had some pace on it.
Yeah, he really did, and I think the keeper, I don't know if there was a deflection, but it looked like he made a dive and then had to readjust. It was a good recovery save.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So good effort there, but it'd be out for a Tallahassee corner. And here's Babito over on the far side. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinger. Service on the way here for Tallahassee. Looking to go back post. Sanchez is there. Secondary service almost falls for Cuppa. Escapes the pressure as they're able to get it out of the jar and past Volstein. Busanelli gets a couple touches to it here as they look to swing it back around and look for Kamaldeen. And it'll be out for visitors throw over on the far side. Of course, all hands on deck today. President Chris Petley was out recruiting some ball boys and ball ladies out here today to try and give some assistance to the process. Good to see people stepping up and helping out to keep the game flowing a little bit. So it's not as stop and start as you may see here during the fall for the Leon County American football games. Cuppa's going to dump this one out, or allow it to go, excuse me. So to be out for a Tallahassee throw. A couple of Tallahassee players warming up. Marcos getting some reps here. Cuppa looks to clear, deflected by the visitors. Volstein going to take the throw, and ref's not going to like that. He's going to have him back up. A good tactical move, Ben, but
If you can do it fast enough, sometimes you can get away with it.
yes. So that one was a little slower than I'm sure Volstein would have liked. But the German back on the ball here, 20 yards from goal. Going to turn back around. He's got Warren. And this one's going to be picked off by Pashley. And he was one of the more aggressive player on the balls over there in Callaway, too, as Babito has a rip, but this one spills just wide. Good attempt and play over the top there for TSC. And that direct diagonal long ball is one that they love here. It'll be out for a goal kick. 34th minute of action here from Gene Cox Stadium. Probably can anticipate some above average stoppage time here in the first half. So we probably realistically have about 15 minutes here of action to go before the break. So this one's going to be done back to Balog. So your back line remains unchanged, but the midfield is where you see the changes. Pusinelli out here on the wing as he gets the ball looking for offsides. And, of course, one of the fan favorites, Cameron Kennard, down from Central Florida, is now taking over in the midfield. So you've got Garza over on the left, Kennard in the middle with Warren, Puccinelli out here on the right. And then you've kind of got that number 10 is going to be Volstein with Almeida and Sanchez up top. Knock through here, a little Tallahassee trap, but Pashley's going to split it. Look to roll, dumps it out to the perimeter from Akosa, trying to find a centering ball, but it's over the line. And that might have been the old field decoy, Ben, as I think you got the lines mixed up. Of course, we're using the black lines out here tonight.
Yeah, the football lines can be a little tricky. We're not trying to get a touchdown here. We're trying to get in the goal, and unfortunately the lines are a little different for the sports and can throw some players off, especially because, most players are used to the white lines. But here they have to be black because the football lines are white and it's turf, so you can't really repaint it.
Although they do every now and then. We typically have some lacrosse lines out here. Plus, you've got the media lines back there on the back end. Multi-purpose. They use this for 7 different sports. You see the 5 high schools at the center logo, and then there's also a handful of middle schools that also play their games here as well. Volstein with a centering ball dealt with here by the visitors. Going to spill out and kept in. Taken away by Puccinelli. And dealt with here by LAX. Clearance up over the top. Comoldine settled out well. Looking for some distribution. Is a South African. Over here to Puccinelli. Centered here. Or underlap, I should say, here by Volstein. Inside the box. Nice thread through. Dababito. Centering ball. Skips off the keeper. Back post. Here's Garza. Puts it down for Warren. Left-footed rockets up over the top. And it'll be a goal kick for the visitors, but nice little combination play there by the Battle Lions. 37th minute, and the pressure starting to pick up. It feels like TSC's on the brink of a third here. We'll see if the visitors can try to carve their way out as the long ball gets through to Isaac. He looks to turn, but taken away from Tallahassee. Kennard back to Puccinelli. Almeida, Warren, brings it up over midfield. Right-footed service on the ground, looking for Garza. Long ball, he's going to have enough speed to get back to it. Dealt with craftfully, by the defender off of TSC. Salmon, the last one to touch. But they're going to say Tallahassee throw. I think the refs got that one wrong, Ben.
Yeah, couldn't tell for sure. I'm looking into this very small camera monitor, so I will take your word for it.
Yeah, Ben pulling double duty out there on the veranda. Of course, not up here in the ivory tower like he usually is. Out there fighting the good stuff, of course.
I'm out here in the wilderness.
Yeah, yes. Up over the top, and this one's going to be scooped up by Puccinelli. As all hands on deck, of course. Our small-time operation that we've got going here at Tallahassee, but happy to pitch in and rotate when need be for our crew. Doing what we can, right, Ben? But look good out there, I'd say.
Yeah, apologies if the camera is a little not as clean as you're used to with our usual people behind the camera. They are far more experienced than I am, which is why I'm usually just talking.
That's why they don't let me out there, Ben. Just drop that one. Comoldine looking for some service. He's got Volstein. He decides to keep it on the turf. And so the runners are circled back. Cuppa under some serious pressure. And a little too handsy for the referee, it looks like. Speaking of former crew, it looks like our guy Trent Young popping in the chat. Miss you too, Trent. Hope all is well. Center back here for Cuppa. Threaded through to Kennard. Of course, Kennard, the maiden voyage here with TSC. Had the pleasure of speaking with a lot of the Kennard family at the away game versus LAX FC last time around. Very pleasant family. We're very fun to watch the game with. We tried a little Tallahassee takeover on the road, but here's Volstein back at it inside this 18-yard box. 3 runners inside, cuts it back a little too strong, and it'll be cleared there by the defense. Cycled on around to the perimeter. Tried to put the squeeze on them, but they get through. Here's a little chance for the visitors. Joe Warren coming all the way back from the 18-yard box to pick the pocket there of Samabia, and it'll be out for a corner kick. It looks like for the visitors out there on that near side, or out here on the near side corner, Ben.
Yeah, that was I wasn't sure that was a corner. It looked like the goalkeeper let it go. I don't think he thought it was a corner, but referee a little closer than we are.
Indeed. A couple players to watch here. Want to look out for Blake, number 4, and Pashley, number 9. These are going to be some of your targets here on the set play. Zuri's on Pashley inside the box. There's Blake floating around the top of the 18. Secondary ball, Kumaldine going out and getting it. Sanchez tracking back. Back to empty. He's going to long ball clear over the top. Volstein's going to have a chance at it. He's going to wait for the first bounce, but it gets headed back to the keeper. That's a pretty good clearance there by Salmon. He's had some productive minutes, number 30 out there for the visitors. Scooped up, Warren. Tried to find Volstein. Salmon scoops it up. A little bit of a danger zone. Balog chips it underneath of it. Ton of backspin on that one. Kamaldine does well to scoop that forward. That's a nice piece of control there. Warren, beautifully weighted ball to Sanchez. Oh, but the hand in the cookie jar. Diego making a run at it, and this one's going to be called back. Ooh, nice little stretch there.
Yeah, you love seeing all these runners in behind, though. It bodes well. It hasn't resulted in a goal directly necessarily, but it bodes well for the rest of this game.
Yep. And it's going to give the defense something to be mindful of, right? So you're always kind of walking that line, make them think for the vertical element, set up some of that width that we know Tallahassee likes to rock with. So they really put some pressure really all year on defensive back lines. We've seen it, as I believe they're the 3rd highest scoring team in the league, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to double check the updated table. I know Pensacola's far and away first. I know Tallahassee's right around that number 3 spot. Some good goal efforts here for Tallahassee. 5 or 6, 3 or 4 times out here this season. This one center back around. Swung around here by LAX FC. Shout out to Bob Warren. Thanks for the love. I would assume that's coming from the Joe Warren contingent, but try not to make assumptions. Hello, Bob. This one's going to be secondarily won here from Garza. Nice pressure. Threaded through back to the back line for Blake. Looking for some service. Will find Mendoza here on the near side. He's one of the new substitutes that came in for the injured player here who got injured very early on for LAX FC. Dropped on back. Zuri to Balog in no rush. Circle back around here. Balog definitely getting his touches today, Ben.
Yeah, it really is. Fortunately, none of them have been grabbing the ball out of the back of the net.
That's good.
So, so far, so good.
We like that. Threaded through, looking for Garza, and it might have skipped off that right foot. As it looks like Garza's got those World Cup edition boots on, Ben.
Yeah, pink seems to be a theme this year.
I hear pink is in. It reminds me of those Royal Redford keeper kits, Ben, like Xander's rocking here today. Also, Ben, shout out to Xander, who got his first ever Tallahassee assist last weekend in the game against Pensacola. Or last week, excuse me. And here's Babito trying to get another one here. Nice right-footed effort. Keeper sprawls out and is able to deflect that. But, yeah, Xander at the death. It was into stoppage time. It was 90+8. It was either 90+6 or 90+8. I forget. Deep in stoppage time, though. Xander comes up from his goal, heads it centrally, and Shapura dunks it in the back of the net, and Tallahassee steals 2 points from Pensacola and ends up having a double tie. Tied 1-1 here in Tallahassee, tied 2-2 on the road out there in Pensacola. 45th minute now. Almeida looking for some service. Comodine played it short. Everybody needs to get back on sides. I don't think that they did, and that might be a handball for Garza in the box. But looks like Tallahassee gets away with it. Looking to surge, threading it through. Now a counterattack is on. Blake did a great job to spring that for the visitors. Threads it out, and threat is on. Here's our ghost man, number 22, on the attack here for LAX. Beautiful takeaway from the Leipzig man. Cuppa with a nice scoop and looks to launch the Tallahassee counter onside for Babito. Here's a Warren, the Fox in the box, now inside the 18. Joe Warren tries to chip the keeper, but he gets a hand on it to go forward through there, and it'll be a Tallahassee corner kick. Fantastic effort by the keeper, and it'll be a Battle Lion corner over here on the near side. Some more excitement from the guys before the break, Ben. You like it?
Oh yeah, I'm having a good time. It's tough to keep up here on camera. There's so many opportunities. But that's a good thing. I'm happy to see more attacking moves. If it means I have to move the camera more to my right in the first half and to the left in the second half.
100%. Second minute of stoppage time. Looking for Kennard on the back post. Had a crack at it. MT's going to come back with this one. A nice little step over. Back to Almeida. Reset and serve. Here's Warren Sanchez in the box. Cuppa on the back there as well. He's hanging out, staying for this attacking surge. Centrally coming back for Sanchez. Big switch to Joao. Looking to put the moves on. 20 yards from goal, threads it through. Here's Garza on the right-hand side, flips it to Warren. What a save! Oh, no! VAR might have given it to him, but that's going to be off the post, off the turf, off the crossbar. Warren, everything but getting it through. I think that was basically a fantastic play by the keeper, though, to keep that one out. Otherwise, that one's in.
Yeah, it really was, and not sure if we caught it on camera, the sideline official gave a very definitive no goal to that one.
Indeed. This one's going to be taken over. Here's Zuri with a rare attacking spurt as he gets 20 yards from goal. Back to Kennard. Here's Volstein, 35 yards out, threads it through, looking for Garza. And it'll be a little too strong. Looks like we've had a little bit of a formational fluidity here. I know sometimes Coach Joel likes it to be a little jazzy out there, Ben. He lets them improvise a little bit. We had Garza out here on the right side. Puccinelli was falling back into the defensive. Let Zuri go up. Cuppa was back there. Now MT's back on this right side. Nice little amoeba offense going here from Tallahassee. As we get 3 minutes into stoppage time, and that's all we got. So that'll conclude here the first half of action from Gene Cox Stadium. Tallahassee 2, LAX 0 here at the break. And we're going to jump out for a little bit of community partner business here. Give some run time for some of our community sponsors, and then we'll come back here a couple minutes before we return from the half. Give you a little recap. We'll get Ben's additional thoughts here, and we'll be back shortly. So keep it posted with us. We should be back here about 14 minutes. So set those timers, 8:20 here on the East Coast. Be right back here. Tallahassee Live, Andrew Jupe, Ben Grubbs on a beautiful season finale here from Tallahassee.
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities. For them, for our local businesses,
Got the new merch.
Oh my goodness.
for the community. Because when local businesses thrive, the community also thrives. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities for our local businesses, for the entire community. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do?
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities. For them, for our local businesses,
Got the new merch.
Oh my goodness.
for the community. Because when local businesses thrive, the community also thrives. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities for our local businesses, for the entire community. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do?
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities. For them, for our local businesses,
Got the new merch.
Oh my goodness.
for the community. Because when local businesses thrive, the community also thrives. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities for our local businesses, for the entire community. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do?
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities. For them, for our local businesses,
Got the new merch.
Oh my goodness.
for the community. Because when local businesses thrive, the community also thrives. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities for our local businesses, for the entire community. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do?
TSC for TSC. So, as you heard, we will give respect to your teams, but this comes from a Tallahassee Soccer Club lens. Consider this like a hometown college football radio broadcast, so to speak. So that's a similar vein it comes forward with you. So enjoy. And if you don't like it, you know, we're broadcasting this from the United States of America. So you do have the freedom, if you don't like what we're talking about, how we're talking about, or the conversation, you know, you have the power. Just go ahead and hit that mute button. That's okay. You go for it. You live your life. So don't hesitate to reach out there and do that. But we're happy that you're coming along however you may be doing so, from Oklahoma, from Portsmouth, from Germany, from everywhere in the world. Just as we start some things off, and speaking of Germany, Volstein with a rip from the kickoff, trying to catch the goalkeeper with the hand in the cookie jar, but a little too tall. Hits off the left upright there, Ben. But an adventurous strike here from Casper.
That might be the best crossbar challenge I've ever seen.
Yes. Some other places you could win some serious money doing some damage like that, Ben.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, we don't have that here tonight, but we may have to start that.
Indeed. Seems like a good move. Good move. I know we do have tonight going on the Sugar Fix, and the Aloha Ice is looking good out there. I see a lot of the crowd piling through, Ben, and the flavors are looking nice. They've been out here for a minute. We've also got the Empanada Smiles out here, which, of course, you've given your own personal recommendation to the gang.
That is a top 5 food truck in Tallahassee for sure.
Woo! Of course, those yuca fries, dangerous. Here's we get rolling back. Looking for some second half changes as we survey the field here. Hey, looks like the people got what they want. Hayden Fogle going to be in here, number 13, making his appearance. The Oklahomian threaded through, and he might get a touch here. Centering ball to Casper. So it looks like your personnel on the field here is mostly unchanged outside of Fogle, though it does look like Reese Newman is on here, and he's wearing number 2. Just got a touch. On that far side, and it looks like him and Zuri switched jerseys here today. Threaded through. Here's Fogle. He's going to get a look. He's a good server of the ball. This one goes center and will be out for a TSC corner. Fogle's had a couple of assists out when these two teams played over on the Callaway for the away matchup between these squads. He had the assist to one of those Joe Warren goals off the corner. Nicely threaded through corner that he was able to take care of. Corner kick here. Empty going to take this one. Right-footed in-swinger on the way. He's going to tower back to the 6-yard box. A little too high for Newman. And it'll go out for what I thought was going to be a goal kick, but just on the other side of the flag here for a throw-in for LAX FC, which to my knowledge has nothing to do with the airport. So deep in their own end, going to give it a ride. Newman wins the initial ball. Secondary one from Volstein. And here's Warren. Ref does a good job getting out of the way. The old turf monster took him down, though. Warren back to Kamaldeen. Here's Fogle. Back to Zuri. Nice little piece of individual skill by Amechi, who's got the captain armband on here in the second half, after Mitchell being substituted off in the first half. Slow and steady is Zuri. Love his effort that he's had. And just a great piece to the Battle Lion family. His last couple years, of course, product of Florida High. Played a little ball up at Georgia Southwestern. But Florida High, one of the, I guess you'd call it semi-private schools down here in Tallahassee. One of the closest high schools to the stadium here. Outside of Rickards, I believe them to be the closest high school to the Gene Cox Stadium. Long ball, here's an opportunity for Kennard. He's trying to shield off his defender. Now he's picking up another defender. Nice little wrestling match here. The visitor's going to poke this one free. Volstein's able to free that one up. Empty with the long ball over the side. Here's Puccinelli looking for some service. On the ground looking for Fogle. Can he get there? A little too strong. Gun run out there by Hayden. But it'll be a goal kick here for the visitors. But I like the aggressiveness coming out, not resting on our laurels, Ben. Tallahassee going after it here in the second half.
Absolutely, yeah. Easy to rest. You know, you at this point at 2-0, you think you've got the playoff spot locked up. But no, Tallahassee's going to press the advantage.
Indeed. So try to lock it back in. Here's Volstein, who's looked very fresh the last couple of games. as he was just able to come in for his services here. Oh, shot attempt empty. Almost had a rocket, and it looks like a miscommunication. Kennard takes that one, but luckily it'll spill out here for a Tallahassee corner. Either one of them had a good take a goal. Gumbledine will cycle out here for a corner kick. He's got some great service. Oh, here's Volstein. They want to go short. Woo! There's lucky number 3. Pierces it just under the crossbar with the left foot, peeling inside the 18-yard box. In a Messi-esque performance here from Casper Volstein. It's a TSC goal! 3-0 to the good guys.
Yeah, really excellent strike there. A lot of power behind that, which you need to beat the goalkeeper like near post like that. Excellent job there.
Indeed. So, Volstein, number 3, 7th minute, 14th minute, now 51st minute. He's got all 3 for the boys from the Tiny T. Puccinelli with a sliding effort going through there. And here's MT trying to poke it free, but the visitors trying to sprinkle in a little counterattack. Here's Isaac looking to launch. Met well by the South African to Warren. Swung around down to Volstein. And he's hungry for more. And the galloping Gazelle tries to get through the back line, but the visitors stand him up. Now Blake looking to run the counter here for LAX. Warren's up to the task, and he'll cycle it back around here for Newman. And, of course, Newman was another player that got some reps there late in that half when they played against LAX FC on the road. Tried to thread it through on the attack. There's one of the danger men, Pashley. Stuck out well there by Cuppa. And I wonder if we've got the wrong jersey numbers. Never mind, that's Newman. We're good. Verified. Service coming from the near side here for LAX. Over the back post. Mechi is there.
Sideline official saying it went out of play.
Over and around and back again, huh? Semabia on the back post, the closest one for the visitors. Welcome aboard, however you may be joining us. Thanks for tuning in here for TSC Live, here coming from the capital of the Sunshine State, here in the southeastern United States. Tallahassee hosting tonight's league matchup against LAX FC. These two teams played back in Callaway, Florida, about 2 hours to our west. TSC with the 5-0 victory. So now on the homestand, if score results hold, Tallahassee will clinch a playoff spot. So they're looking for all 3. How about an assertive run over on the far side? Look for a centering ball. And an adventurous spurt here for the visitors. The counterattack still on. Isaac looking to serve centrally. Balog. And it looks like Makosa was in the area there for LAX. But a nice little fresh spurt of adventure here. We saw over in Callaway, LAX have a couple opportunities to do so like that. They do have the option to go on the counterattack as Kennard's looking to launch one of his own. Puccinelli on the long ball is able to get on the end of it. He's got Volstein in the box. Going back post, here's Fogel. Look for some secondary service. Screams across to Puccinelli. Here's Volstein again. Number 4, Casper on fire. He's unstoppable. And it's another TSC goal. Old K-Dub shredding the record books. I believe, unofficially, he's the first ever TSC player in the 7 years of the franchise to score 4 goals in one game.
Certainly the first that I can remember.
Woo! Casper having himself a day, and he's a welcome presence back in the lineup, and looks like he may have cemented Tallahassee a spot in the playoffs, and we're going to need some goals if we're going to head back on out to Pensacola, Ben.
Yeah, I don't know how many more, but wouldn't hurt to keep scoring. We'll just put it that way.
There you go. I mean, Volstein is looking like his compatriots back on match day 1 as Germany, where, of course, his heritage is from. Put 7 on Curacao. He might try to go put, if coach lets him stay in for the full game, he might put 7 himself, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, he's on pace for it, probably. It's some tough math to do while I'm trying to operate the camera, but we'll say he's on pace for 7.
There you go. Chipped over the top. Here's Kuppa. Volstein, once again, the target. Like we said, the Galloping Gazelle is absolutely dangerous in the attacking third. Kennard on it now, 45 yards from goal. Cycles back to Newman, looking for some service. Volstein, Warren, nice little piece of individual class to pull it out of danger. And for a big man, we've seen this all season. Warren does have some nice touch, Ben.
Yeah, he really does. Impressive stuff from Warren that we've seen all year. Love having him on the team.
Indeed, and the Portsmouth prodigy is even improving, it feels like. The last couple of years, he's been kind of checking back in with TSC as this one goes through Buccinelli, the header off the ground.
That was some good fun.
But he's in form. He's having fun. Strong player. But yeah, it looks like we got a little flip up here. Garza up on the top line. Looks like he wants in on the goal fest too, Ben, number 18, the youngster.
Yeah, and the way Tallahassee's going, I wouldn't put it past him or any of the other Battle Lions cracking the score sheet tonight.
Of course, Garza from AAUA out on the West Coast. One of the youngest Battle Lions. As, of course, we have some youngsters getting ready to come in. I think Garza is 4th youngest on the squad. Direct ball over the top. Here's a chance for Kennard. Oh, tries to get his Tallahassee first. Puccinelli back to Kennard. If he wants it, he's got it. Through ball to Garza. And a little too strong for the youngster to go out for a visiting goal kick, but Tallahassee still foot on the gas. Speaking of foot on the gas, here's some young phenoms here for your Battle Lions, Ben. Of course, the Pensacola hero, Harrison Shapura, number 8, getting ready to come in. He'll come in for Kuppa. And then here also is Luke Daunt, part of the Daunt dynasty. Of course, the 3rd different Daunt brother to the Dawn. Too many Dawns here. The gold and black. Cycle back through. Something about that McClay feeder system seems to be working out pretty well here for TSC and the Youth Academy partnership with ASG.
No doubt about it.
What you think, Ben? You like the products coming out of that McClay soccer program?
Well, as a product of said program, I am inclined to agree.
There you go. Got to protect the brand. Shapura goes down, a little bit of contact in the box. Ref says play on, nothing doing. All the way back to the back line here. Newman cycles it around back to Amechi. So Shapura, a couple goals on the season here for TSC. He's dangerous. He's headed for University Pacific, and that's out for a Tallahassee corner. Keeper saved, but over the end line. Of course, Shapura from just north of the border. Tallahassee, for those who don't know, very close to the Georgia border. He's just up in Brookwood, just on the other side. Probably about 40 minutes away, 45 from where we are, as we're on the south side of town. Maybe a couple more minutes. Of course, Daunt here from the capital city. Both stars coming through the youth ranks here in the city. So great to see some of our local guys, and we're starting to see the youth movement really taking off the last year or two. Here, Ben, starting to see some of the youth players and the fruits of Tallahassee's labor last 7 minutes and their partnership with ASG has been fantastic. Really kind of getting an opportunity to shine here of what would we could say, I guess, is the quote-unquote senior team here for Tallahassee.
Yeah, and we got to, for those of you in the stadium, we got to enjoy a little game between the ASG side and Pensacola Bay before it started. Fun to see the next crop of talent coming through.
There's Daunt. A little bit of action there. Look like a switch. It'll go a little bit over the crossbar as it twists out of play. Here in minute 61. As it looks like our volunteer ball boys, some of them had to go home. It's getting late here on the East Coast, Ben. So we're looking for some reserves and club president Chris Pele out there chasing balls.
That's what you love about a community organization. Sometimes you got to do it all.
Indeed, and that he does. So thank you, as always, for your service, Chris. He's talking up the local news. He's like, hey, how many of these Casper highlights you get in here, Mr. Newsman? Local CBS affiliate on scene here at the Gene. What'd you think of the crowd here, Ben?
That's a nice little crowd for a Friday night. Love to see the people of Tallahassee coming out and enjoying some community soccer, and of course those great food trucks we've got here too. And they're being treated to a good game, 4-0, and could be more.
Indeed. Of course, the home bleachers are on this near side, so
don't be fooled.
Yeah, don't be fooled by the 4 people over on the visitors' side or the away side, because that's the sunny side, and that is hot.
And it's further away from the parking lot, so usually people come to this near side.
Yeah, so it looks like we're a little under season average, but we've got about, I don't know, what you think, Ben, 200, 225 out here tonight?
That sounds like a good guess to me.
And then, of course, we got all the kids who get in free, but they're over on the far side playing soccer, so they don't really factor into our count much. This one goes back and cycles around to Newman off the Tallahassee back line. Some service diagonally, and there's the youngster Shapura in the orange boots. Through ball onside. Fogel, here's an opportunity looking for that service. Oh, beautiful ball into Daunt, and he clips it with the back heel. Fogel with the dime, Daunt with the dunk, and TSC is up to 5. What a combination there. And it's another TSC goal! Minute 63. And the youngster, I believe, we'll have to check the record books, but I believe that's Luke Daunt's first ever goal, and not a bad way. But what a ball by Fogel, put it right on the money, and Daunt, a little kiss off the studs, and it's in the back of the net, Ben.
Yeah, just a little bit of flair. Fun way to get your first goal.
Indeed. Indeed, what a rip. Gotta love some good service here. And finally, somebody besides Volstein has scored out here tonight. He put the first 4 Tallahassee goals in. And, you know, maybe as for some of those U.S. men's national team, Ben, that was an All-American connection right there for goal number 5.
Absolutely.
Maybe a little heavy hearts for the USM mentee. Zuri wins this one, looking for some service, but they're headed for the knockout rounds, which Tallahassee, if they hold on to this, will be doing themselves headed into the postseason. Squared on out, and a little bit of an attack here from LAX. Centering ball, chested by Warren, really well done. Back to Balog, who chested down himself. Tallahassee playing out of the back. Pashley and the visitors putting on the press. Tallahassee breaks it, and this one's out for a LAX throw in. And it looks like the chat's picked back up. Shout out to Superfan. Bobby, all right, Battle Lions indeed. 5 big ones, so they've matched what the margin was out in Callaway. And I think this is the young phenom coming in for LAX, if I'm not mistaken, Ben.
It is indeed.
Number 47, Osborne. Hayden Osborne. And I believe he's a 14-year-old. I hear murmurings from the program that he got pulled up, and they're really liking what he's brought to the table, and they're giving him some senior team experience. So he'll be a threat out there in the Panhandle from times to come. Here's Shapura with a full head of steam. Oh, tries to chip the keeper. Somehow regaining possession. Great work by Shapura. And it looks like they were going to call him back for a foul anyways, so it would not have worked. But you love the hustle. Headed over the top is Warren. Scooped on out to Puccinelli. Taken away here by LAX. Good little bit of control. They'll dump it back to the back line. Salmon trying to get things operating. Through to right. Over on the far side. Puccinelli closest battle line there. Threaded through here by Mendoza. Now a little opportunity was brewing. There for the visitors. Makosa the last to get a touch for it. For LAX. Back to Balaw. Plays it on the ground. Xander to MT. And he's going to dance around a little bit. Show some skill. And he's got some good touch for a fullback, Ben.
He really does. Very exciting to see your defensive players getting to showcase their skills. Shows what a well-rounded team Tallahassee is. Can take you on from anywhere.
There you go. Puccinelli in here to Shapura. One more touch looking for Daunt. Tried to get that North Florida, South Georgia line connected there. Substitution pending. Oh, keeper change here for TSC. Xander, job well done. 67 scoreless minutes. And here's Julian Marcos. Of course, plays college ball at Mount St. Mary's. Argentinian for nationality. And he's in his second year back with TSC. So he got a good connection with the Mount St. Mary's program up there. From Tandil, which I'm told is roughly 4.5, 5-hour drive from where Luciano is up in Buenos Aires. So not too close. It'd be basically like Tallahassee, Orlando, or I guess more Tallahassee, Tampa situation, Ben. Kind of the Cameron Kennard's neck of the woods is roughly the distance that you have between those two. They're like, oh, yeah, you're both Argentinian. You know each other, right? Yes. But no as well. This one's going to be taken away by the visitors. Looking to run right, trying to launch the counterattack here for LAX. He spilled out of play, and Puccinelli will take the throw here for TSC. Back to Newman. Squares it to Warren. Through to Volstein. And he's fallen into more of a midfield role as they press up some of the youngsters. So he's less of attacking, more of a distribution method. This one's going to be picked off by Kennard. Here's Comodine. Doesn't rush the service. And there's the 14-year-old hounding him. Service from Kennard, looking for Fogel, a little too strong, it looks like, and we'll skip out of play here in minute 69. Full light up here. Not a bad day after the rain, Ben. It was a scorcher earlier today.
Yeah, it was. I can't give a complete endorsement to the weather. I've got this nice fan blowing air on me with the camera, but even away from the fan, it's felt not too bad out this evening.
Indeed. TFC loves the cameraman, Ben. While we can't keep you totally contained and comfortable, we try to give you some fanage out there. This one's dropped back to Newman, back to Comodine, who's taken more of a attacking, or I guess a defensive midfield posturing. Or if this takes me back to the olden days, Ben, it almost looks like TSC's going diamond out of the back.
Haven't seen that formation in a minute.
Yeah, a little bit of an outdated model, especially when you get to the higher skill levels. Not really effective. It's probably why my high school team never did so hot. Slid in, Zuri, nice challenge here. A little bit of casualty there with Pashley, but Zuri did get all ball, but physical challenge. Threaded through, here's Fogel. And offside flag is up. Had the hand in the cookie jar. So it'll be a free kick for LAX. Roughly 40 yards from goal, just about the width of the 18-yard box. So it's outside the numbers of the football field, if you can see it. And it looks like we have a little, what I thought was going to be a substitution. Oh, it looks like they're giving second half water break, Ben.
Yeah, they were pausing briefly. Number 9 for LAX went down injured. He's up now, but the referee taking this opportunity to give us a water break.
Indeed, Pashley. And, of course, we had the injured player in the first half that got subbed off. That was Magotes, number 11. He's on the bench. He was writhing in pain. That looked brutal, Ben. But luckily we've got our medical staff here on field, and our great buddies at TOC were able to bandage him up. So probably not feeling great, but maybe a little bit better. And hopefully he'll get what he needs 100% once they get back to Callaway.
Absolutely, yeah. Hoping for a good recovery for all these guys.
Indeed. Indeed. And, of course, while we have a stoppage, we want to try to give some love to our community partners, Ben, as you hear them being read off in the PA tonight. I want to give some love because we know Tallahassee can't do it without their beautiful community partners. And we can see the banners over on the far side, Ben. Not to be a little divisive on the broadcast, but who's your favorite Tallahassee Soccer Club sponsor, Ben?
Ooh, that's a good one. I do love going to Proof. It's always a fun time there. Whatever your occasion.
Yeah.
The last time I was there, had a going away party for a friend. It was a nice occasion. They were good hosts there. But it's good for birthdays, good for post-TSC victory parties.
There you go.
Whatever you like.
Yeah, they're doing some watch parties with the World Cup. I don't know if you've seen it going on social media, but, yeah, check out Proof, especially the American games. They stayed open late last night for a little watch party. Probably a little sad, but luckily the beer was there to maybe kind of help drown the tears a little bit, Ben. But for the U.S. national team. But, yeah, shout out to Tallahassee Orthopedic Clinic. Visit Tallahassee, Rambana and Birici. Proof, Tally Mac Shack, Grova, the Southern Group, Redfield Medical Direction, JRA Architect, Marquis Software, Lucky Goat, Bannerman Landscape, Edition Financial, Lindsay Pearson Realty, Winwood Communication, the rest of the great, fantastic sponsors that we have here out. Community partners doing some big things, and, of course, couldn't do them without not only their support, but your support, the viewers, the community, the partnership. So thank you to all the volunteers and sponsors that are part of this journey. And here's Shapira chipping the keeper. We're back in action, and Harry's got another one, looking for the offside flag to stay down. And it looks like the Brookwood boy puts another one in the back of the net here for Tallahassee. And it is lucky number 6. That's right. It's another TSC
Score by number
74th minute.
Harrison Chapora.
Is that number 3 or number 4 of this season, Ben?
I want to
You
say
got it.
number 4 offhand. I don't have my stat book in front of me at the moment.
You got it burned into your memory. Yeah, and I think unofficially 4 from what I can see on the score sheet here. So Harrison doing some damage here in 2026. Shot attempt, and there's some action for Julian. Good save by keeper Marcos. Quick distribution. He wants to run here. Gets it out to Fogel. This one's going to be poke free by LAX. Throw in back here to Zuri. Fogel squares it off to Kamaldeen. Threads it through. What a ball. Gets through. Puccinelli, opportunity to serve. He's got Shapura, and then also coming late, he's got Daunt. Oh, he's going direct. Shot attempt off the keeper. Scoops it up off the left upright of the football field. So we'll be a Tallahassee corner. Daunt wants to go quick. Kamaldeen looking for some service. Has one on the back post. Oh, ends up twisting in for a little curler. Puccinelli tries to chip the keeper there. Tried his best Shapura impression, but a little too much backspin, and the keeper will be able to scoop that up here in the 76th minute. Goal kick coming here for the visitors. Of course, in all white today. Tallahassee rocking the gold and black. The Home Gold's final home game, we believe, of the season. Definitely of the regular season. Tallahassee would have to get a lot of help to get that number 1 seed or to host a playoff game here at home. But you got to believe, Ben.
I believe.
There you go. Thread it on out. Look to get a jump start on the operation here at LAX, building out of the back. Pressure coming. Daunt almost picks it off there as they had a little triangle trap going on that far side. Tallahassee known for some high pressure here in 2026. There's a foul there's going to get called back. Isaac will have the free kick about 45 yards from goal. So exciting match here tonight from Tallahassee Soccer Club. 6 goals scored by your Battle Lions. Been a fun adventure. And Juke Ben Grubbs bringing you the action here tonight on TSC Live. And the boys going to take some positive momentum into the knockout stage of conference play. We'll see what seed they'll get, what their journey to potential conference championship may or may be, if they host, if they head on the road. But unless something, which would be the wildest thing I've ever seen in a soccer match, Ben, happens in the next 15 minutes, and it looks like Tallahassee is going to clinch this thing up and going to be looking for their 4th straight postseason appearance.
Yeah, I've seen some comebacks starting in the 77th minute, but none with a 6-goal deficit. I seem to remember Barcelona and PSG, that game needed at least a full 90 minutes to complete that big comeback.
Dun, dun, dun. Strange world out there, Ben. You never know. You never know. Cycled back through. TSC wants a handball, so they'll have a free kick roughly 40 yards from goal. Who do you think is going to take this one, Ben?
Ooh, who we got standing over it right now? Got Kamaldeen there. Fogel. Looking like either one of them so far. Kamaldeen would probably be my guess.
Feels like a safe bet. Service here from Kamaldeen going back post. Oh, secondary service is gorgeous. 3rd service, 4th service. Does anybody want to score number 7? And this one, it looks like, is going to be offside and called back, Ben.
Yeah, you don't often see offside in that position, but yeah, that was just beyond the last defender and really was almost out of play.
True. Quick feet, Ben. So part of a wild, furious finish. We're definitely getting some entertainment the whole way here, Ben.
We are certainly, if you're a Tallahassee fan, a lot of goals to watch.
True. Well, a lot of goals regardless of what fan you are, but
It's
they
true.
may be a little bit more palatable if you're rooting for the guys in gold. That's for sure. Which I think the gold was a nice choice here. Looks nice under the backdrop of the lights, Ben.
It really does.
Of course, we had the Sunday Golds going last week when they were able to get the big 2-2 draw on the road in Pensacola on Daddy Day. And here's Volstein. Wants some more. Threads it through. What a shot over on that far side. Shapura. But just on the outside of the post. And, man, he's got some energy. He's got some excitement. He's a player to watch. Selfishly, Ben, obviously I understand it's probably not realistic expectation. Selfishly, would love for him to come back next summer. But he'll be out in California doing his thing. So typically, players going away to college, usually if they're from the area, they'll stay out there and play ball if they do so over the summer. But maybe 1 or 2 summers we'll get him back through his collegiate tenure.
Yeah, it would certainly be nice. Yeah, he's a player. You really love his energy. You watch him play, you wouldn't know it's a 6-0 game.
100%. I think that's just like the way Coach Joel likes it. Coach DeCastri, a little bit of a quiet evening for old JDC, Ben.
Yeah, this is no Pensacola performance, that's for sure, on the sideline. Those are always entertaining, but yeah, love having Coach Joel out there, nonetheless.
See him at the bottom of your screen, Ben. That's a nice feature there. See him rolling through. You liking Coach's game day fit today? Centering ball, Dawn! Oh, hits the upper 90. Luke won it again. Tried to scooped up. Here's Kennard. Rip from 25, 2 deflections. And we'll spill back to the keeper for LAX. Long ball back to Warren. And the Portsmouth player looking for some help. Kind of on an island there in the middle of the park. Kicks it out to Amechi. Swung around the perimeter to Volstein. Threads it through to Daunt. Turn to his buddy, Shapura. Has options on the right. Here's Puccinelli. Oh, man. Keeper gets the old oven mitt to it again. Couple times now. Puccinelli's had a good try at it. Kennard got hit with the old speed bump there as Mendoza drops to the floor and able to block it with a full body stretch. Sliding out there like he's back behind the wall of the free kick there, Ben.
Yeah, it was don't often see slide tackles like that where you can kind of make the tackle and stand still. But, yeah, he managed to pull it off.
That's the old speed bump, Ben. You got to you're trying to slow down the attack. Just hit him with the old bump in the road. You're not expecting it. Here's Puccinelli on the far side looking for some service. Shapura, Fogle on the back post. A little too strong. And Hayden tries to chase it down, but be out for a throw there. But another attacking surge here for Tallahassee. It's just 6 isn't enough, Ben. We would have needed roughly 20 goals here tonight if we were realistically trying to make up the goal differential here with Pensacola, but it looks like that's not going to be the case here this evening.
You never know.
I mean, yeah.
If we score 1 goal every 30 seconds and the ref gets out of the way.
True. Yeah, ref's been having some fun out there. As Daunt wins this one, he'll cycle it back on to Zuri. Luke looking for Hayden. Spills wayward here for Tallahassee. Throw 2 balls on the field. Can't have that, Ben.
No, you cannot. That is a very different sport.
True. Have seen that happen in other leagues. But point of emphasis here for a league for clubs is to not have that happen. Conversation for another day.
We're not playing Calvin ball out here. Although that would be fun.
Good pull, Ben. Service from Comodine near side. Back post effort. Warren in the area. Newman in the area. I think it was old Joe with the header on that. Screaming just above the crossbar there. Shot there by Daunt. Scooped up by the keeper. I learned a new phrase the other day, Ben. The Brits would call that a daisy cutter.
Interesting.
In the States, it's more popularly known as a worm burner.
The more you know.
But a screamer off the turf there by Luke Daunt. Comodine, nice little head fake there on the let. Now an opportunity if he's looking for a cutback. Shows a little bit of individual skill. Gets some help from Fogel, centering with the outside of the left. It's like a Bizarro reverse Giorena there. Service. Shapura, nice flick onward. Here's an opportunity. Volstein, no way he gets 5. Centering ball. Kennard for the dunk in the net. Cameron Kennard puts it in. TSC's got 7. And the Florida boy, some would say make it lucky. It's lucky number 7, TSC. Go! Back of the net. And the Kennard cheering section is going ballistic down there, Ben. Down right about the 40-yard line. Roaring ovation for their hometown hero. And I believe we have another first, Ben. I believe Cameron Kennard's first goal with TSC.
Yeah, it was a really good finish. First, great unselfish play there from Wolstein. And then, you think, oh, you're right in front of goal, but he still, had to hesitate to fake out the keeper. It was a really calm and composed finish.
There you go. Shout out to the Marsh Hill man for putting that one in. Service back around here to Comodine. Little step over, nice piece of class. He wants Puccinelli to get one. He's been hammering that service here in the second half. Inside the box, cuts it back against the grain. Here's Volstein. He loved Volstein giving that one off, by the way. This one gets in the box for Shapura because he really could have had a crack at 5, Ben. But he had a couple Battle Lion runners. He's like, you know what? Share the love. Get it in there, and Kennard does well to bring it home. As we get here deep into it. Getting close to the end of the road here, Ben.
Yeah, the last few minutes ticking away in this 2026 homestand for TSC. Hopefully we'll see them one more time, although that does look unlikely. But, we'll enjoy this last few minutes of the regular season here at Gene Cox Stadium.
Indeed.
And it's pretty easy to do when you're up 7-0.
True. Threaded through, chasing back. Warren going to have to deal with this one. Some jostling there. And apologies, the issue with the clock. We're right about 88th minute, so we'll try to get that fixed up. But apologies for the confusion as it's gone a little wayward on us here. The Gremlins, for the last home game, they had to get us, Ben. Took us the majority of the season for the Gremlins to show up, but they do what they do. Tallahassee going on a little bit of a counterattacking spurt. Here's Volstein looking to distribute. Threaded through. Shapura off the post. Could have been his second. Left foot return. Towers up over the top. Tough there for Shapura. Be a goal kick here to the visitors. All right, finally got that figured out, so apologies for the clock issues there, but it is indeed the 89th minute, as we can see on the scoreboard, Ben. We've got it correct for our people at home. Or maybe they're not at home, wherever they may be. Maybe they're out to eat, or maybe watching some World Cup at Proof, getting a nice bowl at Tally Mac Shack. Here's Daunt. Volstein, little class. Colleen looks hungry for a shot. Takes one from 25 out. Bicycle alert! How about that one from the youngster? Adventurous take.
That would have been quite the way to cap off the regular season.
There you go. I was going to say, man, Luke's got one. Now he's looking for one with flair. He's looking for some highlights he's trying to clip. He heard Babito's got goal of the year. He's coming for him. Come on in. Top of the box. He's liable to shoot. Oh, left-footed curler almost goes up for 90. Woo! Look out. It looks like we got some league eyeballs tuning in. What's up, Pensacola? Welcome. You guys must have heard us talking about you. We're trying to catch you guys on goal differential. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Start of the game, we were 21 goals back.
So we're a third of the way there.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, if we could convince LAX and the refs to go 270 minutes out here, we might get it back. And they'll have a really interesting stretch down the way here. But until that happens, we'll be chipping away. Through ball from Volstein. Looking for Kennard. He got a taste. Looking for some more as well as we get into stoppage time. Probably get our prescription 3 minutes here. Had a lot of goals, but not many stoppages. Most of the injuries and stuff happened early on, so we haven't had that many. There's a little work through here by Shapiro looking for Daunt. Volstein's also in the area. Shapiro, great fight. 30 yards from goal, trying to turn this off into offensive posturing. Centering ball twist just over the top into the field crew. And look at that. TSC board members now getting involved, chasing down these loose balls. All hands on deck tonight, Ben, for the Friday night showcase.
That's how you get these 7-0 results. Everyone does their part.
Indeed. Most indeedly. Threaded through. Puginelli on top of this one. Newman with a little poke free. Throw in coming over on the far side here for the visitors. That's how I imagine the visitors are phrasing that. Comodine via Zuri. Back over to Warren looking for some service. He's got Fogel if he wants to give it a ride. Here's Daunt. Through ball's beautiful to Volstein. He's got Shapiro. This one goes direct. Offside flag looks like it stays down. Ball is in the back of the net, so great 8 and 5 for Volstein. So the final count's going to be 8. So we almost got Pensacola's 9 that they put up the other day. But this will be all she wrote. Tallahassee clinches a spot in the postseason. 23 points on the overall table, and I think that's the big takeaway for tonight. Tallahassee headed to their 4th straight postseason. So there are opportunities for Tallahassee to make a wild run and host. But what you think of the action here tonight, Ben?
Well, you know, as a Tallahassee fan, you always love seeing your team put up a ton of goals. You know, at the start of the game, they were kind of fortuitous goals, you would say. But then, you know, Tallahassee showed, nope, we're going to score any way we like. Some really good build-up. Some great unselfish play, too. Overall, a great performance from the Battle Lions.
100%. Yeah, I agree with the distribution and the build-up and kind of all cycles rolling there. As Tallahassee's now in the books with the regular season, so now we're just going to be watching the scoreboards here, Ben. So the league has a lot of games coming up. Should we talk about the upcoming games, Ben, and talk about some harebrained scenarios?
Let's go for it. I've got your graphic ready to go, so I can reference. Let's do this thing.
Okay, so we'll put this over the top as you can see the players, the congratulations. First of all, thanks to everybody involved with Tallahassee Soccer Club, the volunteers, the president. This is a non-profit 501c3 organization, and it's just been an honor to once again come aboard with Tallahassee here for yet another season in the 2026 campaign. Fantastic play by the players. Xander, Zuri, Reese, Jeremy, Bennett, Harrison, Joao, Empty, Bruno, Diego, Hayden, Joe, Luciano, Braden, Cameron, Audie, Luke, KTP, Julian, Casper. The ones who are not playing today, we saw some hurt ones here in the stands. We saw some of the younger training spring team as well. Of course, the head coaching staff, Coach Joel, Coach B-Mac, Coach Solari, Coach Supercam, Coach Augustine, everybody involved with the program, the board, Casey, Brent, everybody, thank you again. Fantastic here from Tallahassee.
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities. For them, for our local businesses,
Got the new merch.
Oh my goodness.
for the community. Because when local businesses thrive, the community also thrives. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities for our local businesses, for the entire community. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do?
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities. For them, for our local businesses,
Got the new merch.
Oh my goodness.
for the community. Because when local businesses thrive, the community also thrives. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities for our local businesses, for the entire community. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do?